with Crusher, who is Director of Operations on our mountain. That's a lot of responsibility. We're halfway through the season. We thought it was time to check in. Last time we talked with you was the start of the season. So how have things developed? Right from the get-go, let's start with snowmaking.
Well, it was a rough start. And we had, the 3.5 inches of rain on Christmas. But ever since then, I don't think it's got above freezing, maybe at the base. And we just wrapped up the very last trail yesterday, finished white nitro. Woohoo. So now we're waiting on natural snow for, the backside and igniter and some of that, and we'll be 100%, looking good.
I think overall, considering how you were up against it temperature-wise, it was pretty marginal at the beginning of the season, even through January. And then, like you said, we had that deluge at Christmas. Overall, don't you think you came back really well for the conditions as marginal as they were?
Yeah, the last month and a half, the skiing's been as best as I can remember. We haven't had much natural snow, a couple storms, but things are skiing well, and just pray keep the temperature low.
Right. We don't mind these cold temperatures because the snow doesn't go anywhere. It stays in great shape when we have these chilly temperatures. So kudos to the snowmakers, and then it's the groomers, because they had a hard time too with a slim base and that hard snow. That's hard on these poor machines.
Oh yeah, it's hard on the operators.
So we're glad to see the natural snow.
And they were up against it as well, because a third of our groomers are snowmakers, and our snowmaking season, running 24/7, ran longer than normal this year. So these guys were short-staffed, but they managed to pull it off and do a great job with it.
So good for the groomers. Now they can get, for the rest of the season, hopefully double shifts every night?
Yes.
How many cats do we have going out every night?
We usually 6 to 8 both shifts.
Wow.
7 days a week.
So that's a lot of man hours up on the hill.
Yep.
And machine hours, of course.
Yeah, and that's not counting the park cats, too.
So what does that entail?
Well, they just finished their last build last week, the drop line. Those 2 big jumps on drop line. And before that was the cross park on Sidewinder. And, the new park on Boardwalk, which has been a huge success. We used to use it for a little bit of racing, maybe 6 times a year. And it's kind of a no-brainer to put it there. People can see it from the lift. They can do laps on it from Double Runner, which doesn't get enough ridership. So it's upping that a little bit, taking some heat off the Super Quad. So it's worked out great, and those guys go out every night and buff the parks up, and they will do rebuilds as necessary. Our next big build will be to make a bank slalom in mid-March.
Are we still having an event?
I think we're going to pull it off. It's going to be modified with less people. We'll we're kicking around whether we do it a weekend or a weekday at this point, but we really don't want to miss that event.
Cool. That's nice to hear, something to look forward to in a season that's been a little sparse that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a signature event we'd like to hold on to. We're doing a little bit more racing. We're doing whatever the state will let us do. We're hoping we can have out-of-state racers here so we can hold some more races. So as the cases go down, things are looking up for us. So.
How's the lift department been doing this year?
Lifts is slaying it.
Yeah.
Good, just a great group.
Nobody envied their job at the start of the season, but overall, I think they've done really well considering they're our front line. They really are.
Yeah. Lifts and the parking shuttles they are the front line.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're probably the first person that asks you to pull your mask up. And we're out there on the busy days trying to help them. Thank you, everybody that's been cooperating. I know it's easy to, when you're skiing, to pull it down, then forget to pull it up as you get in the maze, but please remember that, or we'll give you a friendly reminder. And Lifts is also staffing up now with some of the snowmakers. Right. And then, because we want to keep those crews around, because if you know, things go south on us, we'll have to crank
We
up
need
the
'em.
snowmaking system again. So
It's been a tough season for employees across the mountain, not just in Sugarloaf, but you know, the restaurants and everybody. That's been a challenge this year.
yes.
More than ever.
Yeah, you know, we've had a few cases or suspected cases, so you got to do the quarantine thing. So that's put stress on the staff. But all in all, everybody's done a great job keeping their bubbles going and staying healthy. So it's been good.
And for all the naysayers, we'll see you at the end of the season with jubilation, because we're going to make it through. I think a lot of people thought, oh, the state's going to shut you down or something's going to happen and it's all going to get shut down. I know I heard that all summer and all fall. But it just goes to show if everybody works hard, we can make it happen, right?
Yeah, no, we're focusing on that. We're planning on going, you know, normal closing time. So
Where there's a will, there's a way. Thanks, Crusher.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.